Guess who's behind the camera today?
I'm sure they're gonna have a hard time figuring that one out. What are you bugging me for?
Because
Wait,
I have...
It's not a good time.
Well, listen. My tree peony is in bloom, and I want you to see it so that I can get your reaction to it in bloom, being you didn't have a clue why I would pay so much money for one when it wasn't in bloom. So are you ready? Because it opened today.
So this is like the expensive tree peony you got. We're going to see.
Yes. And it's actually the earliest one, because usually my white ones open first. This one opens before those. It's amazing. It's like...
Well, worth the $175, right?
It totally is. No, you have to get in there.
What do you mean?
Walk your little butt in there. No, use that walkway.
There. Oh.
Use the walkway. Now look at the size of that flower. I mean, what is your reaction?
You probably could have got away with a $45.
I knew this wasn't gonna. I knew you can't tell me that. All right, check this out. Is that not the most gorgeous tree peony ever?
If I was a bee, maybe I would think that. Oh my
gosh, I'm not a bee, and I am just in love. And look at the size of these buds coming out. Oh, actually, look, another one is open. Oh my God, like it just doesn't get any better than this. There's another one that's going to come soon.
So when the $45 peony plants blossom, are we going to compare buds?
Well, this is the first year that it bloomed. Like, it's the first season that it made it through winter. It created buds from last year. I planted it last spring, so I did get to see, it had 4 blooms on it last year. And this year it has 5 blooms. And you know what? I mean, they're monstrous. Look at, this is my hand compared to the size of the flower. I mean, you just don't get better than that. And look at the flares in the center. I'm like in love. This is like my absolute favorite one. Like, I'm not disappointed. I think the value is there.
It's blooming before the bees are even here.
No, the bees are here. I saw bumblebees today.
Well, I don't see any bees coming around going, wow, look at this.
Actually, there are bugs on it though, look.
Yeah, there's usually ants on those.
Look, no, they're around. The little tiny insects are enjoying the fruits of its labor. So
yeah, my reaction is
come on. I'm sorry, if that doesn't wow you, then you are unwowable.
Only you wow me.
Oh, stop it.
You look good in white.
But seriously.
So you want me to film? Are you going to show these people what's happening?
Yeah, so let's do a quick little garden tour around and see what's happening and what has yet to be done, because there's a lot of that too. All right, hold on. All right, so it's mid-May. Well, it's a little past mid-May. What is it, the 17th? 16th. But anyway, we'll do a quick update of what the gardens look like now. There's still a ton of work to be done, so don't worry about the non-mulch stuff. But really quickly, I added these this year because of the seed heads, not even because of the flower. Although the flower is pretty. See how it has like this little bell-shaped flower? It's really cute. But the seed head is actually why I planted it. It's like this crazy hair frilly thing, which reminds me of myself. And it's like ornamental. So even after it flowers, you have this crazy seed head pod. It reminds me of a clematis. You know, at the end of the flowering, it gets the same sort of, you know, crazy little frilly things.
What's it called again?
I don't know what these are called.
Ooh.
They're new this year. It's some type of anemone though.
The garden genius got stumped.
Well, I'm not stumped, but they're new, and I don't know. It had a really long word, and I'm not good with garden names. But this is some type of anemone though. And it's hardy here. It's hardy to zone 5. So we'll have to check it out. Anyway, so coneflowers are coming in. Salvias are looking good. The peonies, I actually have an intersectional peony here. I'm not quite sure at what point this was added. Is that terrible? Like, I don't know if this was here last year or not. And I didn't buy one, so I'm not quite sure where this showed up from. But it's got buds on it. And I'll hopefully get to see it bloom.
Is that an enema too, or no?
No, that's not even the name of it. And look, we do have. See, I told you the white ones always bloom early. So this is a white one.
Oh, this is a $45 peony.
No, this one I grew from seeds. It was $8.
$8.
$8.
I like that. That looks great.
But it took like 5 years to grow. So
it's beautiful.
But anyway, yeah. So this right here, this is a shade corner. It's like a corner garden with shade in it. I don't know. There's a high noon tree peony that's about to bloom, though. I shouldn't say about to bloom. It's got tons of buds. Lots of big buds up and coming. This is a yellow one. The yellow tree peonies are always later than normal. But we have variegated Solomon seal, which has these tiny little blooms, which are sweet. The deer don't eat those. And look at the purple Japanese painted ferns. Like, that is beautiful. I love that. This is a type of Simicifuga. It's actually multicolored. I've never seen them. Usually you'll find them with like the dark purple foliage, and this one is just like somebody painted it, and it's actually coming back nicely 2 years in a row. It doesn't like grow a ton, but it's doing its thing. The Brunnera is blooming blue, which I love. They look like little forget-me-not flowers, the blue. And then the Astilbes, even though they're not in bloom, these chocolate colored Astilbes, they always look good because they break up the garden with their color. And the Lamium, oh my God. So in the back, all along the stone wall, the Lamium's like taking over. See how it just like drapes a little bit? It fills in where I can't grow anything. It just takes over, and it's blooming. Butterflies love it, and it's just I kind of like it creeping over the rocks.
Looks like you're a little behind on your mulching this year.
This garden needs a little bit of design help, so I have to do things before I can mulch that one. Plus, it's kind of over here, and it's not like one of the popular gardens, so it always gets the last. And this one too. Although this got a makeover last year, I kind of brought it out a little farther, and I added some stuff around the downspout. This is the Muthenia, and this in the fall gets really bright, gets red tips around it, so it looks really cool, and it's the first thing to bloom in the spring. But we have a weeping beech, which is beautiful.
Weeping what?
Beech.
Beech?
Beech.
Beech.
And then there's some penstemon in the back, daylilies. Oh, I added a quince, and this is a disaster, guys. It was like 75 today. I have all my dahlias in pots, and I have things that need to be watered. This is why I can't leave stuff here. It's a disaster. And
it's also fire hazard. Can't get out the back door.
Well, you could get out. You just have to step on things. But look at this. This is like a quince. A flowering quince. This was added last year. Look how beautiful this is. And I know these get big, so, you know, I fully intend on having those expanded. You know, this area expanded when it happens. But for now, it fits there nicely. And we'll go over to the sun garden. Oh yeah. All right, so the sun garden. I mean, the only thing I can really focus on right now is that just amazing peony.
That premium peony plant.
Yes, it is. But honestly, everything is really filling in nice, and all the moving around and kind of revamping that I did in the fall and the summer, you know, everything looks like it's going to grow in pretty well. The allium really need to be divided. I have clumps and clumps of them, and they're starting to shade like some of my plants. So that'll be a project for this year, is to take some of those out, move them if I have to. But everything, I mean, everything looks good. Everything's up and growing and filling in. There's another tree peony that's about to go off in about maybe a week. More peonies. And then this end of the garden, I kind of redid in the fall. Like, it kind of got a new ending over here. So we have like daylilies and some rock candy. Those were a new purchase. I have a couple plants here I don't think I'm going to leave there. I'm kind of just leaving them to see if I'm going to place them, but I'm probably not. St. John's wort got added, a Brandywine viburnum, and then a Pearl Glam beautyberry. So this is a little young yet, but everything seems to be shaping up pretty good in this garden.
Looks good. I love it, baby. What's up with these bushes here?
Nothing.
Why? I don't know. You kind of were going to walk right past them. Ignore them.
They're the normal hedge that we have for the hydrangeas.
And how come you always ignore that garden way over there? What's the problem with it?
I'm not ignoring it. I'll show it to you.
Just nothing happening?
I don't know. Not really too much. Same thing as this, basically. There's not really a lot different going on. Although the viburnum looks really good. It's actually getting pretty large and it has tons of flowers, so I'm hoping that the berries come out in the fall on this. The smoke bush that I decided not to trim and cut back this year looks very happy and big. What else? Everything else is just filling in. Like the Rosa Sharon is just starting to leaf out. Another tree peony. The buds are actually starting to open. So that will be covered. That's going to be gorgeous. The allium are out. Dwarf bee balm. The lamb's ear. Phylacterum. Hydrangeas. There's so much stuff in here. What else is there? Phlox. That was new as of last year. Glamour Girl. Those are like hot pink. They didn't really go where I put them in the sun garden, so they kind of got put here and they came back with a vengeance. The Stella Doros, these might come out this year. I have higher priced daylilies coming and they probably will replace the boring ones.
Why are they higher priced?
Because they have more going on. These are plain yellow. There's just, everything's going up in price, so just deal with it. And then these peonies and the hydrangea, everything's, you know, there's nothing like fabulous going on here, but there's a lot coming. So that's exciting. Hey, it's raining.
What's up?
I don't know why.
I know. Did you do a rain dance or something?
I don't know. It was beautiful all day. I don't mind. I love rain. Oh my God. Rain makes me happier than flowers, really.
You definitely need some anyway.
Oh, it is. Yay. I hope we get poured on.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Well, I don't because I'm filming. I have the camera in my hand.
Well, anyway, so if anybody saw the rose, the David Austin rose pruning video that I did for climbers, this was the climber that I pruned, and I did it in an S shape because the whole point of that video was to show how the lateral canes grow off of the main canes, and everything is happening. Look at it's happening just like they say it would, and so far so good. So I'm hoping to have a nice little wall of color there. It's amazing. But anyway, yeah, so lots of peonies. The clematis are going crazy. Like, I have tons of buds on all of them. So as long as we don't get hit with wilt. Last year we did not. The year before we got nailed, a couple years actually before last one. So hopefully these have sort of recovered. But anyway, everything looks like it's shaping up. This is sort of a sedum garden. It's dry. It's a dry garden. Rocks. It has rocks, so it's called the rock garden. But anyway, I have some of my higher priced daylilies in here because I'm hoping to keep an eye on them. I added I had two single fans that I ordered that just got planted. Those are allium. These are the daylilies.
Oh, these are the high price premium.
Sorry, they don't look as amazing as those blue allium back there, but
yeah.
And then we have some variegated iris and another intersectional peony right there. That's blooming.
What is that bush in the back?
That's a Korean lilac.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the deer used to eat the crap out of that. We never used to see it bloom. And all of a sudden, it just every year now blooms beautifully. And I don't know if it's just too big or they just don't really pay attention to it. This is amazing.
Maybe it doesn't feel crappy anymore.
No.
Hey, what about inside the garden? My God.
I'm too distracted by rain. I love rain.
You want to do another rain dance on video?
Yeah, maybe. So I'm pushing it a little bit with planting. I mean, our official last frost date is the 3rd week in May. We're only the 2nd week, but I'm honestly tired of lugging everything in and out. And I'm sure there are people who know exactly what I'm talking about. So I have, I put some tomatoes in. I have some zinnias in the corners because I like things pretty also. Got the ladders in for them. This is my salad box, which is actually starting finally to kick in. So I have new red fire lettuce, Mirlo lettuce, and in the corner, the carrots have finally started to sprout. These little guys right next door, the beets are up. See that? And then I have some dazzling blue kale. So we'll see how fun that turns out to be. And these are mustard greens. These are a little spicy. And I put some onions in there because onions are supposed to repel bad bugs for lettuce and leafy greens. So yeah, so that I'm happy. And then we'll have a tomato in the center. This, I put more lettuce. I have kale. Oh no, this is actually that purple sprouting broccoli. This is the first time I'm trying that. Those 4 plants, those 5 plants, those are purple sprouting broccoli. That's mustard greens. You are terrible at filming.
Well,
I'm just kidding. You just don't know what things
yeah,
are.
hey, mustard greens look like purple.
And I'm rattling off a mile a minute. So, but anyway, I have more kale here, and then more lettuces, and then onions going around the perimeter of that bed. This one, these are so pretty. Even if I didn't eat these, I would still grow them because they're pretty. This is the Russian red kale. It's gorgeous. I love it. And then I have I don't even know what variety that is. I have like maybe 6 different varieties of tomato. I have basil starting in there from seed. I have more lettuces. Once these lettuces come out, I'll replace them with like peppers and the hot things. The hot, what am I trying? The sun-loving, heat-loving plants, which are your solonids, tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, that kind of thing. This is my herb garden. This is taking a little while. I planted it a little prematurely, like my basil suffered a little bit from the cold, but now it's actually starting to put stuff up, and all the seeds that are in there are sprouting. So even though I put starts in there, the seeds are coming up after them, so I'll have quite a bit of stuff soon. Got some red onions, 2 clematis in there. My chives are gonna bloom soon. Golden oregano, thyme, savory, parsley, you name it. This is gonna be like chock full, literally. And mostly probably for the caterpillars, but we'll see. And then my peas are up, finally. So I'm just waiting. I gave them a dose of fertilizer this morning, and then I have a row of beets. Not all of them germinated, so we'll see. I may throw some seeds in there again. And then I have some of the broccoli and the kales. The pink plume celery is starting to actually get some girth to it. And then the rest of this, just 2 indeterminate tomatoes, some eggplants, which aren't quite ready to go into the ground yet. Eyeliner lilies, and then there's a whole bunch of flowers over here that I don't know where to place, and it's just kind of like a holding bed. Oh, you know what else too? Check out my grapevines this year. All along, I have tons of grapes. Every year, they start out promising. Every year, I get 0 grapes. So we'll see. I have no experience, nor do I know what I'm doing for grapes. So if anyone wants to help me out, I have them sort of up and teed out, but I never get grapes.
What are you going to do if you get grapes?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
Gonna make
it's
wine?
Be better than bloom. I don't know.
Yeah, what?
I hope they'll probably be sour as hell, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's
they're supposed to be great. They're Concord grapes. One was red, one was green. So
I heard they were grape.
Oh. You just killed my whole vibe. All right. So this is the one and only shade garden. Well, I shouldn't say one and only. It's my one and only, like my favorite, because it looks good all the time. It really does, despite the falling petals of tulips. But anyway, so last year this whole left side got a revamp because we had a big oak taken down off the hill, and it opened up some sun on just this side. So you're gonna see as we go through it, we have a little bit more sunnier things planted, like sedums and coneflowers. And then as you work your way here, it's all the same. It's just beautiful shade stuff. So anyway, yeah, everything looks great. The hydrangeas, remember I was telling you that the buds on the stems, if we get a hard frost, they always die back and we never get blooms. None of them died back. It's like amazing. I am still waiting. Like if I get blooms on that, that is going to be stunning. Just stunning. Although the ruby spice plethora behind it, it's not even like waking up yet. So I don't know if I killed that somehow. But anyway, the sedums look good. All the hostas are coming in like gangbusters. The tulips looked great. The heuchera looks great. All of the hostas, they're so fun. I mean, look at this beast. I actually cleared this out last year because, believe it or not, this thing is going to keep growing up and out, and it will go right alongside of those ferns. Like, I want to plant stuff here because there's a hole, but I have to be patient because this monster takes over. And check out this hosta. So this is one I planted last year. It's really, really cool. It's like all yellow, which, you know, normally wouldn't be fun, except that it's gonna change into green. This one's Gray Ghost. And I got this from Naylor Creek, from Gary Lindheimer. Awesome, he has such awesome hostas. But anyway, so I got multiple eyes, and of course I separated them because I want a bigger section quicker. So I did that. I have a streaker hosta. You know, something looks a little weird with that. It might need a little more water than I'm giving it. But the minis came back great on the walkway. I have a little one called Dragon Tails, which is amazing. Luna Moth, one of my favorites. Orange Marmalade, Autumn Frost, St. Elmo's Fire, that's a new one. And then a good old clump of elegans across the way. I put a peony here, Curly Fries, El Nino. I got a dogwood in there now. I took the big Sun King. If you remember, I had this big yellow perennial, look like a shrub. It gets huge. I took that out because it really suffered from something last year. And I've had that thing for years. I don't know if they have a lifespan or not. But I got a good 5 years out of it. And then last year, I don't know what happened to it. And I'm really not happy. But all of the ones at the nursery are like this big. And mine was this big. So I kind of just put shrubs in there just to appease my mind. I know I can't just plant a little something there. It just wouldn't look right. It would drive me crazy. But I found some Tiarella, Spring Symphony Tiarella to add into this. That's a woodland plant, like shade. Gets really cute puffy flowers after that. It's not really like all that fabulous, but it did catch my eye and it did end up in the car. So Andrew, hosta Andrew, slow as molasses growing. Completely slow. Beautiful, but slow. If this thing would kick butt and create a clump, like, I would use it everywhere. It's gorgeous. And this one, on the other hand, is called Hot Kiss. It's one of my favorite. I love the name. I love the color. It's beautiful. It's got this like streaky center. I mean, that is just gorgeous. Anyway, that's looking amazing. The bleeding hearts are still going off. The epimediums always look good. Lungwort always looks good. So this garden, I mean, I just love this garden. This garden will look like this the whole season. I just love it. Once these flower, I'm gonna cut them back and they regrow in, and they have the same spotty foliage when they regrow in. They're just like, they're a workhorse. They look great. Anyway. And the tree peony. So I have a tree peony in this garden that I staked last year because it was leaning toward the sun. Wasn't getting a lot of sun, and after like 5 years, I finally had to stake it because the buds and the branches get so heavy. I cut it back. I was debating whether to yank it out or just cut it back and see what happened. So I cut all the branches back to one branch in the center. And you know what happened? It pushed all new side buds. That thing's got like 12 blooms on it. And I was so worried about cutting it back. It rejuvenated. And I have a tall tree peony again that's not leaning, nor does it need to be staked. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Anyway, so that's it.
So can we interrupt your garden tour to bring you this special report?
Yes. What?
You recall the garden that I put in over here that you were making fun of?
I wasn't making fun of it, but nothing was up. And a lot of the stuff that I put in is now up.
What do you mean, a lot of the stuff that you put in? Did you put anything in here this year?
Well, but the thing is, all of this whole front was already put in there. Ooh, there's poison ivy. Bad.
Well, good.
Nope,
Yeah, hey.
There's poison ivy right there.
That's nice.
Hey.
That is my favorite perennial.
Yeah. That's one. Oh, there's the other hosta, Brian.
Yeah.
So I had 3 El Nino hostas that I needed for my shade garden, and Brian could only come up with 2. And I said, where did the 3rd one go? And he's like, oh, I don't know where it went. There it is. It's in your shade garden.
Great.
I need that. That needs to come to my bed.
But it looks pretty good. Yeah. I added a couple things, but
it definitely is filling in. Looks better. And you took out the rhododendron that was dead. And you put Solomon Seal.
I put him in the hospice garden.
Yeah.
With the rest of everybody.
Yeah, we definitely have a need for a hospice garden. Anyway, I have to go take this thing.
So do you take it back?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, not then. It was totally accurate. When you showed me that garbage earlier, there was nothing there, which was quite annoying. Now there's something to critique.
There's something there because I helped it get there by cleaning it out and maintaining it.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Keep it going.
Good.
I gotta take this.
To be continued, yes.
Dinner is calling.